Good evening, ladies and gentlemen, and boys and girls, and anyone else that's watching. This is Les Oman on Home Songs for Life, coming from live from the garage here in Campbelltown, Kintyre, the west coast of Scotland. I've got 4 songs for you here tonight. A couple of new ones, one that I've exhumed from my past times, and a cover. So not necessarily in that order. So get started. I'm not a great fan of karaoke, to be honest, although probably at the end of all this I would take a night or two of karaoke once we get back into normal times again. But there's been a couple of times when I've been trying to get something to eat and the choices have been limited, and I'm just sitting down to tuck into whatever the chef's special is, and the karaoke strikes up and you've got no control over what you're hearing, so it sort of struck me one day when I was idly minding my own business. I thought, well, I wonder what it would be like if the boot was in the other foot and the guys that are up singing, doing this karaoke had to listen to something that I might listen to. So I got it in my head that might be quite a fun thing to do, and I thought that probably the least likely band, even if we stuck to their first 3 albums which had songs on it rather than extended instrumentals, the least likely band that anybody would want to hear at karaoke would be Soft Machine, who were an English band from Canterbury way back in the 60s, and there's still a version of them going today. But I thought to myself, yeah, that's what we'll do. So I wrote this song called Soft Machine Karaoke Terror, it's called, because I believe it would have frightened the life out of the fictional character in the song. If there's any lines seem a bit odd, it's possibly because it's a play on a Soft Machine title or two. The other thing I should let you know about is there's a reference to a Mr. Hopper in the song, and that is Mr. Hugh Hopper, who was the bass player in the kind of classic version of Soft Machine, who did lots of innovative things at the time, like putting his bass, putting a fuzz box in his bass and things like that, and changing the whole sound of the bass guitar. So I think that's pretty much all you need to know in the interim. So this is Soft Machine Karaoke Terror.
Les. For some reason, it's not gone live on Facebook. I don't know why. Which is where people watch it, because I've just been on there, and people are saying I got a message up to say, oh, there's some connection issues. So I don't know what that's about. It's so sorry after all that intro.
Right.
I was just trying to work out what was happening, and
Okay.
rather than so, it's odd. I'm just going to post.
Okay, I tell them just to hang on then, and we'll see what we can do. Somebody keeps on sending me texts all the way through this, so I shall switch this off. Right. Is it still running on YouTube then?
Well, that's a good question. If it is, we'll sort that out later. But people will be laughing. No doubt.
No doubt.
But if they're watching on YouTube live. So sorry, folks, if you are. We care about you too. We just got to sort this out. Right. Okay, I'm clicking to reconnect destination. So I'm going to click go live again, and we'll try again. Okay.
Okay, so how will I know if it's working?
Hopefully it says again. I'll just disappear when I disappear and carry on. If there's a problem, I'll interrupt again. I'm awfully sorry. Can't do anything about this, but it's just Right, I'm going to click go live just now.
Well, hello folks. If you were watching this at the start and it went off, there's some kind of connection issue. Yeah, it's Les Oman, Home Songs for Life here. I was explaining this song that I was about to do, which is basically a kind of idea that I had when I had to listen to a karaoke evening while I was trying to eat my dinner one night, and the idea came to me that, well, what would happen if these people had to be subjected to something I might listen to, and decided that that something would be Soft Machine. So rather than give you a big explanation again about Soft Machine in case you did hear it, I'll just sing the song. Sitting here in MC's place, my karaoke bar du jour, out on the town, out of my face, I'm ready to endure. Shall I sing The Great Pretender, or maybe Burning Love? River deep, mountain high, I just can't get enough. The evening's building slowly now, the first hour's nearly in, when this weedy guy starts bleating to you a moon in June. Then the lights start swirling, the strobe is kicking in. Gaze at Esther's facelift as she stares into the gloom. The growling of that fuzz bass just cannot be ignored, and the organ's crazy couplet would nail me to the floor. And I no longer wish to sing, that sax gives me the fear. Cymbals, bells and tom-toms are raking at my ear. Gazing straight ahead of me, try hard not to scream as the ghost of Mr. Hopper floats by on a dream. Through the big French windows to set the music free. The spirit of the soft machine triggers memories, memories, memories in me. My brain may be exploding from all the sonic strife at the death of karaoke and this chapter in my life. It hits me like a bullet right between the eyes. Reeling, feeling, squealing, out of shoes, out of shoes. I quietly cry. So that was Soft Machine Karaoke Terror. And of course, I was so smug thinking, you know, well, who's ever going to hear Soft Machine at a karaoke? And then a strange thing happens. There's a kind of weird coda here. My good friend Angus Martin, found somewhere that the first song that Whitney Houston ever recorded was actually a song called Memories, who was written by Mr. Hopper, who was in that song, Hugh Hopper. He wrote it when he was a schoolboy and recorded it with his previous band, but Soft Machine performed it live for a number of years. So that was one weird thing. But then the really weird bit was that after Whitney passed, 2 or 3 years later, there was a Malaysian singer called Siti Nurhaliza. I think I've said that right. And she recorded a big, huge production version of Whitney and her doing a duet on Memories, and it became a big hit out in the Far East and is now sung at karaoke. So, what do I know? There you go. Anyway, moving on. I've had a pretty weird week because I've been working night shifts doing remote work in Tasmania, of all places. So that was weird. In the past, I've had 2 or 3 great road trips out to Tasmania, and I'd put together this song but hadn't quite finished it off. At first I thought it was a kind of travel log, but then I realised it had places in it like a travel log, but it had little bits of things that I'd heard and things that might have happened on the road and things. So I've just called it Down to Hideaway. So this is the first time for this one, so hope everything works okay. Was a time of dangerous mischief when the whip had ate my zip, and the soft verges of the gravel roads washed away to dirt. Backwards through the barrier, deep water ahead, possum in the headlights, wombats in my head. Follow me down to Hideaway and over the Copers Road. Fallen trees are everywhere, be careful. Careful as you go. Driving up to Strathclyde in the darkness of the night on this lonely Tasmanian highway. First cab off the ranks, and we're ring-a-room abound. Amazing grace, our sat-nav got us lost, but now we're found. Follow me down to Hideaway and over the Copers Road. Fallen trees are everywhere. Be careful, be careful. Be careful as you go. tiger snake is sleeping, the snow's still on the ground, the thylacine is listening, tense without a sound. There's cabaret in Queenstown, the pumpkins have a show. Should we risk it for the brisket? Should we stay? Should we stay or should we go? Follow me down to Hideaway and over the Cocos Road. Fallen trees are everywhere. Be careful, be careful. Be careful as you go. I sailed out to the Mona in the posh pit, nothing less. Well, some of the ceramics, they messed up with my head. I went down to Salamanca for a coffee rubbed steak. I came to in the stairwell, resigned to my fate. Follow me down to Hideaway and over the Cocos Road. Fallen trees are everywhere. Be careful, be careful. Be careful as you go. Careful as you go. Careful as you go. So that was Down to Hideaway. That was some adventures in Tasmania. I should have pointed out the thylacine that was mentioned. There's the mythical Tasmanian tiger, which was pronounced extinct about 1935-36. The last ones in captivity died in the zoo, but they're fascinating looking animals. There's some YouTube footage of them that you can go and find. They're nothing you've ever seen before, but there's a kind of rumour that, you know, there are parts of Tasmania where no human has ever strayed, or if he has, he's never get back out again, and there is a kind of hope that the thylacine, the Tasmanian tiger, has survived but is just too smart now to come out and show himself. So I really hope that's the case. The other thing I mentioned was Mona, which is the Museum of New and Ancient Art, which is a peculiar place. Somebody described it as being like a kind of gothic Disneyland for adults. So that's probably quite a mild description of it. And the Posh Pit was the special saloon on the boat that you can go out to the Mona on. So you pay extra and you get canapes and Prosecco and things like that. So just got to do what you got to do when you're in these places. So that was for Dave out in Tasmania, if he's listening, and Ross in Melbourne, if you ever get the chance to see this. And on to a cover. So this is one that I've not attempted before, so I hope all goes well. I'm doing this because the album Spirit of Love by Cobb, who I think they were described recently in Uncut as cosmic slackers or something like that. But anyway, their album Spirit of Love's just been re-released, and I think it's had a vinyl reissue if you're into that kind of thing. So this was one of the bands that Clive Palmer was in after he left the Incredible String Band. So we'll give it a go. This is a song called Wade in the Water. Oh, see the sun, the burning sun, hung in the sky from a tree. Wade in the water, wade in the water, wade in the water with me. Wade in the water with me. Wade in the water of life, wade in the water with me. Oh, see the moon, the silent moon, shine in the night mercifully. Wade in the water, wade in the water, wade in the water with me. Wade in the water with me. Wade in the water of life, wade in the water with me. Oh, see the dove, the gentle dove. Open your wings and be free. Wade in the water, wade in the water, wade in the water with me. Wade in the water with me. Wade in the water of life, wade in the water with me. Wade in the water of life, wade in the water with me. That was Wade in the Water there. That was for Dave in Hove and Douglas. And that was Dave and his persistence that reminded me that the album had been re-released. And then he sent me an audio reminder as well the other day. So it's his fault if you didn't like that one. So we've come to that time in the programme where it's the end, all bets are off. So this song has been with me for quite a long while now. It's what you call a revenge song, I think. I think that's what they call them. And I suppose many years ago I lived in a hip and happening place in the west coast of Kintyre called Tainloan. Not so hip and happening now, of course, but when I was there one night in the pub, my neighbour asked me if I wanted to come out on his fishing boat on the Sunday because they were hosting the final of the Strathclyde Police Sea Angling Competition. So I wasn't doing anything else, so seemed like a good idea. Up with the lark, and we went into the boat in Tarbert, and his brother was the skipper of the boat, and there was about 20 policemen that got through to the final of the Strathclyde Police Sea Angling Championship, and so they were roughly divided amongst 4 boats or 3 boats, I can't remember exactly, but we had our little group, and I have to say that it was all good natured at the start, but by the time they got through the day and not a single one of them had caught a fish, then it was collectively our fault, you know, the guys that were taking them up. I only went to catch a few ropes and, you know, keep the coffee and tea coming, went between their bouts of fishing and stuff, make the soup, make the rolls and sausage and all that. I mean, it wasn't as if I was getting paid for it, but nevertheless, I received quite a lot of abuse for my troubles, including a parting shot from one of them. He said, "Don't ever come to Greenock." So I've tried my best to take his advice on that one. I mean, I don't honestly think the guy will still be a serving police officer. And just to get in a couple of disclaimers here, this was about Strathclyde Police, and from about 30 odd years ago, so it's not about anything to do with current police, and it's only about the people that happen to be in the final of that competition. And also there's a line in the chorus that says, "We're the police and we hate God." Now, that's not me just making that up. I didn't put that in to offend. That's me just reporting what somebody basically said. I kind of paraphrase it a wee bit to make it work the song, but that's the way they were. You know, they were raging at everybody basically, including God, because they never caught a single fish, and they were all out for the day. So, you know, other people might think it's possibly because of their skills or lack of them as anglers, but you know, it was obviously the guys in the fishing boats who don't go angling, you know. So, but anyway, regardless, that's the kind of situation there. So there's a couple of words in here I just need to clarify as well. There's the use of the local word or variation on the word "hooer," which is not used in the sense that it might be in other parts of the world. It's a very useful adjective. It can be used as a descriptive word. It can be used as a noun. But in this case, it's a kind of how would you say? It's a term of endearment in this particular song. There's another word called which is nyachter, which it's maybe not so much a term of endearment. It's more to do with what happens when you blow your nose. But anyway, yeah, that's it. So this is Anglin Strathclyde Police Blues. See how we get on. Tarbert Harbour and the sun's in the sky. It's a Sunday morning, but today there's no long line. We're here to play host to the boys in blue. Douglas is the skipper and me and Archie are the crew. So throw off the bowline of the Catherine Ann and grab the sergeant's worm can. Better check to see that everybody's here. Hello, 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 there's still 2 on the pier. Here we go. I've never seen such happy hooers, baiting hooks and fixing lures. Glumness written on their faces, flipping boots, I can't find the laces. We're the police and we hate God, cause we fish on a Sunday and he's hit all the cod. 1 hour later at the Kyles of Butte, someone's caught a fish, good God, what a beaut. But sadly it don't make the size. Have you ever seen a copper with tears in his eyes? 2 hours later and we're off the skate. Just look what these yachters are using as bait. No wonder the fish are no gonna bite. If you were a fish now, would you eat that stuff? I've never seen such happy hours, baiting hooks and fixing lures. Blunders written on their faces, flipping boots, I can't find the laces. We're the police and we hate God, cause we fish on a Sunday and he's hit all the cod. 3 years later, another 2 to go. The boys are down the scuttle having hot soup on a roll, except for the fella who's looking kinda rough, cause he spent half the night before drinking too much stuff. 5 hours later, it's time to say goodnight. The boys are packing up, but there's not a fish in sight. It's grand to be standing on dry land again after 5 hours aboard with the angling policemen. I've never seen such happy hours, baiting hooks and fixing lures. One was written on their faces, flipping boots, I can't find the laces. We're the police and we hate God, cause we fish on a Sunday and he's hit all the cod. Well, 12 hours later and they're back in the beat, and they're still raging that they had to admit defeat. So beware, good citizens of Strathclyde, there's 40 angry police trying to put you inside. I've never seen such happy hours, baiting hooks and fixing lures. Blunders written on their faces, flipping boots, I can't find the laces. We're the police and we hate God, cause we fish on a Sunday and he's hit all the cod. We fish on a Sunday and he's hit all the cod. We're the police and we hate God. There you go, that was Anglin Strathclyde Police Blues. So that's me just about finished. I'd like to thank Dave for doing the hookup on the sound there. Thank you very much, David. And let you know that on Monday night it's Kenneth McCall here in the same spot, so don't miss that. And this is me, Les Oman, saying good night. Good night.